Guys, it's just really not that bad. Okay? Splitgate 2 has come under massive amounts of fire since it launched. And I don't understand why necessarily. So, really, what I want to do right now is talk about my experience playing the game. I want to talk about what's going on, what they are doing with it, because they're deciding to pull back in a major way on this game, the developers, 1047 Games. And I want to talk about why everything is kind of overblown around this game, and why I think that, this is not necessarily a mistake, but it could have been handled differently. So, Splitgate 2 announced that they're going to be laying off a bunch of people, or the developer, 1047 Games, announced they're going to be laying off a bunch of people, and they're going to essentially move the game back to a beta state. It seems like it's going to still be available to play, but we're not released. And they're just going to wait until, I don't know, I think it's an undisclosed date. It'll probably be next year when they actually decide to do this. They said, the co-CEOs said they're going to, just reading here, reduce certain roles, shift our resources to put it back to a beta state, and they say that they released it too early, that they bit off more than they could chew. He said, we rushed certain features, made some boneheaded mistakes, and most importantly, we didn't give you the polished, portal-filled mayhem you fell in love with. Okay, here's the thing. Yeah, you did. I'm sorry, but you did. So, the first thing that I have an issue with is that there was this whole thing that was a huge issue when it was the dude, I don't know which co-CEO it was, but one of them went on stage at the Game Awards or something, I don't even know, and he wear a Make FPS Great Again hat. And everybody's writing about this like it's some sort of controversy. Yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of angry interneters, right? We all know that the 22-year-olds rule the world on TikTok. But come on. Enough of this woke bullshit. Give me a break. It doesn't mean that he's some crazy Trump supporter, and it doesn't mean, and also half the country loves Donald Trump. Whatever. It's not just because you're famous or in a position of power does not mean that you have a responsibility to morally grandstand or to not make anybody pissed off at you. So it has nothing to do with the game. Nothing to do with the game whatsoever. Okay? So can we just get over that? Please? That's absolutely ridiculous. So that's one thing. But then the second thing is that this game actually is really, really good. Splitgate 1 was fantastic. It was my favorite arena shooter. I liked it more than playing Halo, Halo Infinite multiplayer, which was good. And they're very similar because they're both arena shooters. But there's just enough uniqueness in Splitgate to make it interesting. Splitgate 1, you shoot portals. One portal shot opens the sort of enter portal, and then another is the exit portal, and you can shoot through them. You can't just it's not just teleporting through them. You actually shoot. You can shoot enemies through them if you see them. You can set up sniping spots and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. Not to mention the gunplay is really responsive, very fun. It feels meaty, and it's the kind of game where I don't play Call of Duty. I don't even play a lot of multiplayer games, to be honest. But, I don't play Call of Duty because it's so sweaty and stupid. And, there's all of these, faux pro gamers out there trying to make everybody feel like idiots by just, hunting them down all the time. These people spend, 10 hours a day, hunting people down on Call of Duty, right? It's ridiculous. I hate that. I go out into the it's not a game you can just pick up and play because there's the skill. It's just frustrating, from a skill ceiling point of view. It's a game where you have to become really, 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 really good at it to have fun, and that's just annoying. I don't have time for that. I have kids and job and stuff. I don't have time for that. And then, but this Splitgate as an arena shooter, similar to Halo, you feel like you can sort of jump in and play. And that is fun. And really, what was missing from Splitgate 1? I would say a little more content, more maps, some unique, interesting modes. I don't think it needs like a campaign mode or anything like that. That's not what it is. That's fine. So he says here, we rushed certain features, blah blah blah. We didn't give you the polished, portal-filled mayhem you fell in love with. I'm sorry, but Splitgate 2 is exactly that. It is way more polished than Splitgate 1. Graphically, it's extremely impressive. On my like OLED monitor here, this thing freaking crushes. Like, it looks amazing. The colors pop. It's vibrant and colorful. And they went the way similar to the finals, where, you know, how the finals kind of revolves around this fake sport that's being created. And it's the same with Splitgate 2. They've decided to go in this direction where they're treating it like a sport, sort of. Side note, it would be cool at some point to break out a campaign mode that was sort of like Rollerdrome. You know how in Rollerdrome they turned that sort of very, like, almost multiplayer like arena type thing going on, and they put an interesting story behind it, like she was playing this sport and you had to sort of rise the ranks and there was weird stuff happening underneath. It was really interesting. It'd be cool for Splitgate to do something like that for sure, and I think the critics would love that as well, as long as it's well written. And Rollerdromes was well written and well received. Of course, that studio got shut down, but whatever. Every studio seems to get shut down these days. But really, this game is still great, and it is iterative, and that's one of the biggest criticisms, right? There's not a whole lot new in Splitgate 2, but at the same time, there is a lot new about it. There's not a whole lot that developers can do and publishers can do about matchmaking, because honestly, that's marketing. You got to get the word out, okay? If you're talking about gameplay experience, how much are you going to innovate here? So I think if you're going to make a Splitgate 2, you need amazing gunplay. You need a few new weapons. Like, let us have some new weapons to play with, because new weapons drop all the time. Let's have some better graphics, because the graphics were, I would say, in general, on the sort of duller side, which makes sense. This was sort of like a guerrilla production, Splitgate 1. So Splitgate 2, let's add more polish to it. And then what else do I really need? I need a really big player base, and that's mostly marketing. So why do we have to go back to the development timeline? You know, I don't understand what exactly is going to be rebuilt. They rolled out a battle royale mode. Didn't interest me at all, but I don't think it's a problem. You know, I don't like battle royales, but I didn't think that it was a problem. You know, I just think that this game is really so much better than this news story says. I don't think that the CEOs are giving themselves enough credit. I think that the game is super fun and engaging, and some of the best gunplay out there. Crunchy, fun arena, so you're in close quarters with everybody all the time. There's an enemy sneaking around every corner, and that's the game. And it's there. Oh, what, you're mad because the cosmetics in the shop are too expensive? So don't buy them! You could also go, you know, Apple Vision Pro costs $3,500. You don't have to buy it. Don't get mad about the price. You don't have to buy it. This is your life, okay? Don't make it up to you. They're cosmetics. Get over it. So anyway, I really think that you should be out there giving Splitgate 2 a try. It is way better than this news story says. It's way better than the CEOs say that it is. It's way better than the online chatter says it is, which is just like talking about completely unrelated crap. I think that this is all completely overblown. I think the whole thing's overblown. And this game deserves a second chance, because it truly is great and it deserves it. I'll see you in the next video.